Okay, so I'm making this video because I'm just kind of really sick and tired of seeing videos of all these young girls who are like captivated and mesmerized and just following Freelee the banana girl blindly. Mostly because at one point I was one of those girls. I bought right into her Raw Till 4 diet. I committed to it for about a year, and the results were terrifying. That I bought into this diet so much and believed everything that she was saying that I followed this to like a T. I never even slipped up once. I was perfect with this. And I was at, by the time I was done, I was at the highest weight I've ever been in my entire life. Right now, I'm about 153, and my lowest ever was probably about 140. And I was at 178 when I finished my Raw Till 4 diet. And I looked like someone took a straw and like put it in my body and went like I looked like a marshmallow person. It was disgusting. I didn't even want to shower. Like I don't care if that's shallow. I don't care if people perceive that as weak. I'm gonna close this door because the train's gonna go by. But it was really terrible. It was like the worst feeling ever to be so uncomfortable in your own skin that you didn't want to even get dressed or shower because you felt so bad about yourself. And I know exactly what the response will be if there is a response. It'll be that I need to get something bigger than myself. And don't worry, I do have something bigger than myself. I love helping people, I love inspiring others. I was just on a television show where I went on to lose the weight and inspire other people and share my story with the world. And I also am a writer. I'm writing a book about a really difficult time in my life with a lot of struggle and a lot of questions and risks, and I'm sharing that with the world because I do have something bigger than myself. I enjoy providing value to the world, and that's what I think this video is doing, because I can't watch one more young girl go on Freely the Banana Girl's diet and gain 60 pounds and just continue to say that they believe that this is going to work for them. I'm sorry, but all you're doing is, maybe you're taking girls that were anorexic, bulimic, drug history, whatever, they give that up to go on Rachel 4. And all you're doing is creating girls that are vegan that now have binge eating disorder. So I don't understand how that's a positive thing. You're literally telling girls who are restricting their calories to go binge eat. Like that's so bad. First of all, if you're coming off of a diet of anorexia, if you go and binge eat, there's consequences to that. Even if you're throwing up everything you eat, if you go from starving yourself to binge eating, you are going to have bodily function malfunction. Like, your body can't handle all of that intake. There are some girls that if they're anorexic enough, that a binge eating episode can kill them. Their hearts can't handle it, and their bodies can't handle it, and their intestinal tract can't handle it. And so I don't understand why that isn't discussed also. And people who have a passive drug history, I've been there. I've gained weight. You gain weight when you give up drugs, amphetamines, cocaine. I didn't have an illegal drug addiction, but I was, well, I guess it's illegal, but I was more into like ADHD medication, like Adderall in college and stuff. And of course, it doesn't matter what diet you go on when you finish taking those types of medications, you are going to gain weight. And it's not because of the types of food you're eating, it's because you're sluggish, you're tired, you're unmotivated, you're not moving around as much. You don't have the energy, your body is recovering, and you're not processing food as fastly as you were. Your metabolism is ignited by amphetamines. And it doesn't matter if you're eating a strict diet of cheeseburgers or a strict diet of just steak or shrimp, or if you're eating a strict diet of bananas, you're going to have weight gain. But the point is that that's unrelated to diet. So it's not like veganism is going to cure that. You have that no matter what. You're used to not eating a lot. Your body is starving. You don't know it's starving because you're taking drugs to suppress your appetite and give it fake energy that you're not getting from sleep. And there's a recourse to that. So of course that doesn't matter what diet you take. But the most important thing is that what diet, and I agree with Freely, what diet's going to work in the long run. And I truly believe that telling people to binge eat is not what's going to work in the long run. I'm a perfect example of that. And I will include some pictures in wherever of me at my highest weight when I finished doing Freelee the Banana Girls diet. Yeah, it just wasn't. And also, I'm completely against saying that cycling is like the number one best exercise that you should like only do. I'm I've never in my life seen changes in my body like I have when I started lifting heavy weights, like squatting every day, doing progressions, increasing my weights. Um, I definitely don't, I'm not against cardio. I'll go to a spin class, I'll ride my bike. But when it comes to changing the shape of your body, you need to lift heavy weights. I'm sorry. I've been through it all. There's nothing that, any Raw Till 4 activist can throw at me that I haven't been through. So if you want to challenge that, go ahead. But I'm not mad or disappointed or saying that you shouldn't go through this process yourself, but I'm telling you my experience. I gained a ton of weight. I actually ended up becoming slightly more obsessed with food when I was on Raw Till 4. Because I lived in Chicago, it was winter. I had to plan ahead to keep supplies in the house. I was always like I was looking forward to my next meal. I still do, but it was like an obsession. Like I was planning everything out. I was like thinking about how much I can eat, like what foods can I pack in. Another form of being obsessed with food, and I wasn't getting any results that were good for me. I think the whole point of any diet is to have things in moderation, whether that's bananas or whether that's steak or yogurt. And I know many, many people who are 80 plus years old that have used a moderation based diet and ate a variety of foods, tons of foods. So I definitely don't think that, veganism is the key to longevity, or I wouldn't know 89-year-old people who eat fish and vegetables every night for dinner. Just wouldn't, and have a glass of wine. So actually, most people I meet that live till 86, 100 have a very moderation based diet where they include wine and fish and even like hard salamis and pepperonis and cheeses for like appetizers during cocktail hour. It's a very like, that era tradition diet. But I guess I really, really, really am reaching out to and feel sorry for the girls that I see who are really young and they're gaining massive amounts of weight. And, people coming off of eating disorders, that's psychologically traumatizing to, put on that amount of weight. I'm specifically speaking of one YouTuber who I came across who in a year gained like, it looks like 60 pounds on Raw Till 4. It's astounding. Like, I can't imagine what that must be like for her. I mean, she keeps a positive attitude and she says she's not brainwashed, but it's hard for me to believe that because, when I saw what it was doing to my body and I didn't like it, I was like, this is no longer serving me. So I am going to move on. It wasn't my goal to move on. When I started, I was like, I'm going to do this long term. But when something isn't serving you, when you try something, whether it be a religion, whether it be a diet, whether it be an exercise program, when you know it's no longer serving you, please don't be afraid to let go and try something new. That is how the most successful people in this world keep moving forward and keep growing and expanding their knowledge base. Because if you're holding on to something that you believe is right and you just keep holding on, but your life keeps getting worse or you keep feeling and you feel bad about yourself, like it's time to move on. It's time to try something else. And I'm sorry, a diet is just like a relationship, a romantic relationship. You're not going to hold on to something that's no longer serving you. It might be really hard to let go. It might be really hard to move on. And you might be terrified of your next move because you don't know what your next move is and you don't know if it's going to be better or worse than what you have now. But nothing's worse than keeping going with something that is bad. It's also like an investment. Like if you want to start a business and you're pouring money into it for a year and you realize that it's not going anywhere, are you going to continue to pour money into it or are you going to stop what you're doing and move on and invest in something else? It's like cutting your losses. It's like when you're gambling or anything. And another thing I want to point out is that tons of people who do Raw Till 4 who look fantastic, like these cute little YouTubers, they would be slim and look like that no matter what diet they were eating. Metabolism plays a huge role. It would be like me listening to an Asian girl about how much I should eat to not gain weight. Like, it makes no sense. Everyone has a different metabolism. Everyone comes from different backgrounds and genes. And there's literally saliva tests that you can do now that tell you, saliva tests, blood tests that tell you what foods aren't going to work for you and what foods are better for you. What foods are more likely for you to gain weight, which foods are less likely to gain weight. And it's people grow up in different parts of the world. They have different metabolisms. They put on weight for different reasons. There are people who live in colder climates that might end up being more likely to put on a lot of weight. So it's really just biology too. So I think that is not something that you can look past and not acknowledge. And I'm sorry, but if Freelee's eating 3,000 calories a day, but she's biking for 2 hours uphill, that is going to burn at least 1,000 calories. So what does that bring us to? She's eating 2,000 calories a day, which is what I eat, and which would satiate anyone on any well-balanced diet. So it's really not rocket science. It's not veganism. It's not Raw Till 4. If those things work for you and you want to do them, that's great. But binge eating is never good, whether it's meat and cheese or bananas. It's not good. It expands your stomach. You feel hungrier. Your body is made. It is made to hold on and to allow you and to keep you eating as much as possible to survive. Your body wants you to gain 30 pounds because if there was ever a famine or anything like that, you would survive. Like, even now, I have a way higher body fat percentage than Freelee. If we were on an airplane together and it crashed in the mountains in the snow, which has happened to people before, I would outlive her if we did not have any food. She would die within days probably, because your body will start eating your muscle, your body fat to survive. And the people who have a substantial amount to sustain their life will live. And I know we're not in a situation like that on a daily basis or maybe ever, but it explains the way your body works. Your body wants you to live. Your body wants you to be equipped for all circumstances. And being super small is not those circumstances. Even bearing life, even having children. Like, why do you think women hold weight in their hips, in their stomach? It is absolutely to have a safe pregnancy. Your body wants you to have those reserves. If you have a little layer of fat on your stomach, it protects the fetus from being harmed. If you get bumped or if someone elbows you, it's like that's a layer of protection there. It's not that difficult to figure out. And it's really sad to me that I see these young girls looking at her and just idolizing her. She thinks it's a good thing. Freelee the Banana Girl thinks that if a young girl starts idolizing her and emulating everything that she does and gains 60 pounds, that she's helped that girl, that she's helped her get control of her life. But she has not helped her get control of her life. She has not taught her any mental coping strategies and willpower and any of the really amazing mental strategies in your mind that help you in other areas of your life. You haven't. So you haven't helped her. You've actually done her a disservice. If you really want to help people, stop telling them to binge eat and yelling at people and putting people down. It's like, and the truth is that when I took Freelee's diet and I started it, it was during her days of being like an awesome YouTuber, of going through her day, of showing us what she eats, of being happy, being positive. She thinks that being negative is okay and that's her approach. But it's like, now I just watch her videos with ad blocker so she doesn't make any money off me, which you should do. Ad blocker, you don't have to pay. And she was this great girl. Now she makes fun of everyone and puts people down. And it's like, I just watch her to see how miserable she is and for entertainment value when I'm bored. It's like, no one's watching you because they want, like, fear. Fear is like, for example, a parenting strategy, which is proven to never work long term. Like, instilling fear in people, like you're bad, or like this person's terrible, or like that's a temporary fix. People want to be happy. People want to feel good. People want to be around people who feel good and are happy. That's not rocket science. I've been depressed in my life, and guess what? I don't want to watch someone that's angry and mean. I want to watch people that are upbeat and excited and happy and showing that whatever they're doing is making them happy, because that's what I'm trying to figure out, how to have a better life and how to be happy. And watching someone who's miserable is not really the solution for that. So, anyways, I hope this provided value to someone's life. If you have any more questions, please feel free to answer. I'm completely, like, trust me, I'm a writer. I've written for the past couple of years, and I am fully prepared and 100% ready to deal with all of the backlash and criticism that will come along with this video. There is nothing you can say to me or call me that I have not already been called. I promise you that. I have been told to like roll over and die and never write again, and that I'm a useless human being to the world. That's okay. I'm okay with that. So